And we're live. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. This is Kat with Kat's Home Chat Live, where we come to you every Friday at 10 a.m. And we bring on illustrious guests who have just magic juju tips and tricks that will hopefully enrich your lives, whether you're a seller, a dweller, a decorator, a business owner, a business seller, you live in a house. Please share this episode with anyone that you think can benefit from the secrets that my illustrious guest, Shelley Cooley, the Realtor of the Year, and I just found out this is not just Houston, this is all of Texas. She has won the Star Award, which is the Howard Hughes Development Company nominated her for Realtor of the Year. And Shelley is going to share with us some secrets that you can, whether you're a realtor, a business owner, a business seller, just a dweller, you do anything. I just feel that what she's going to share with us has to do with many levels, the human experience and the human relationship as it relates to really all things. And so I'm going to stop talking and introduce my guest, Shelley Cooley. Shelley, thank you so much, and especially, again, on short notice. Those are always the best guests that come on short notice, for joining me this morning. So tell our audience just a little bit about you. One thing that I love about what I've found out in the short time about you is your passion for what you do. And I guess, that's what I'm always manifesting out there is for guests who have a passion for what they do and are authentic. So share with our audience, what lit you up about the real estate industry? And tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, thank you, Kat. Thank you for having me on your show. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate that. So gosh, I started out as an educator, and I know a lot of people know that about me. And I spent 15 years educating students, yes. And I started a staging business and fell in very quickly with Jimmy Franklin, with the Franklin team. And that's kind of how it all blossomed. And I didn't know I was going to have a zest for real estate. But very quickly, I found out that I absolutely loved the industry. And I just started, with the staging piece, and then slowly but surely added a marketing piece to that, and started working directly with the Franklin team and building relationships with builders all over the Houston area. And from there, I said, you know what, I want to get my real estate license. And I did just that in 2016. And from there, it has been just a whirlwind. I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's every day, it's something new. But bottom line is I'm serving people. And that is what I absolutely love to do. I've met so many wonderful people along this journey. And I know there's so many more that I'm going to meet. But it really is every single day I wake up and it does not feel like work.
And isn't that the opinion? Whatever you're doing out there, folks, if you wake up and it doesn't feel like work, someone told me, it's a story behind that. It was actually a fortune teller said, I don't see any work in your cards. I don't see anything. And I just said, well, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. And isn't that the truth? And I encourage you, if you're not loving what you do, I don't care what it is, selling pizzas, designing airplane control panels, selling real estate, whatever it is, and you don't love it, it doesn't light you up, you might want to revisit that. Life is too short, guys. Find something that lights you up. So I love that part of you that and understand the benefit and magic of staging. So, some folks, and many of our listeners may be realtors. They have a lot of realtor friends out there and acquaintances and clients and so forth. And I know, coming from new home sales myself, oftentimes realtors are like, well, how do I break into new homes, to being a realtor for a builder. And we're going to talk about a lot of different things here, but I just would like to touch on that a little bit for our realtor partners out there who might just be in the dark. Like, how do I even approach working for a builder as a realtor? What would you say on that, Shelley?
Well, I think it goes back to relationships. Cultivating, growing, nurturing relationships, and doing the business development piece to the job when I started working directly for the Franklin team allowed me to learn how to develop relationships with builders. And, you know, a lot of these builder partners that I work with are my friends now. And it's really about adding value. What can I do to bring value to you, to this relationship? And, you know, it very quickly becomes a two-way street. So I think really it's just, again, cultivating that relationship, you know, checking in with those builder partners on a regular basis, finding out what kind of inventory they have. I mean, right now it's a little unusual, the market. They don't have a lot of inventory, but, you know, that's going to come back eventually. But I think it's really about finding out what their needs are and how
finding out, that's key, finding out what their needs are. And, you know, I know from firsthand, and I don't know at what level you built the relationships, I'm sure from all levels, but I was a community manager for, you know, many, many different communities. And oftentimes I'm the one that they get the information for. And, you know, maybe, I don't know what the situation is today, because I've had my business going on 7 years, but I know in the day, if someone came and said, hey, well, I'll hold an open house for you because I know you're stuck in the model and you've got these 6 to move and you can't cover, you know, is that something that you're doing today? I mean, just, I want to give our realtors some kind of practical, well, here's a couple things we could do.
Absolutely. You know, I don't do a lot of that. If I have a builder partner call me and ask me to do that, absolutely. But, you know, I have done it in the past, and that's definitely a good way to get your foot in the door, providing value, because a lot of these communities are so busy. And if there's multiple models
and short staffed. Yes.
And if there's multiple, you know, models or inventory homes that are available, then of course you can be another set of hands, you know, taking information and facilitating that introduction from, you know, or to the salesperson that was not on site at that very moment to meet those prospective buyers.
Yes.
So absolutely. That's a great
because
way.
I want to tell you again, as a community manager, I mean, it was nice to get a muffin or a this or that from various people trying to win your business. But, you know, sometimes just someone sitting down and chatting with you in your office in between clients. And like you said, finding out what are your needs? What are your struggles? How can I assist you?
Absolutely.
You know, and I think it's about in any industry, Shelley, you know, is you know, to give without expectation, to serve. And when you do serve, of course, it does come back to you, you know.
100%. And that's what I live by, honestly. I give and I know that it's going to come back tenfold. I give because I have a giving heart and I want to help people. And, you know, there's a lot of times that I put myself out there and nothing comes back to me, but that's not what it's about. It's about giving and serving. And,
exactly. Exactly. It's not about expectation. Okay, I do this and I'm going to get that. You just give and the universe will give 100%. Back to you. Yeah,
big
absolutely.
Believer in that. Absolutely.
So, so you sold just some quick stats because I was like blown away. You sold how many new homes? Last year?
Homes, I believe I closed 57 new homes last year.
Wow. I think that, well, of course, last year, but you know, I think that's more than some sales counselors. But you're teaming up with them. So, you know, and I'll tell you a little story from this. And, you know, I've had, and I've heard some stories from, I'm not going to name the builders that have really kind of, you know, cut off their nose to spite their face type thing, because we know where I work that 75% of our business came from our realtor partners. So it was on more than one occasion that I would have a client come in and say, well, you know, can I get this price if I don't use a realtor? Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you that if they would do that, they're going to lose that business. And, you know, our answer basically was, it really doesn't matter if you use a realtor or not. If you feel more comfortable, absolutely, to be represented by the builder or by your realtor, but it comes out of a different bucket, marketing bucket. It does not come out of the price of the home. And I've been tested. One client, his mom was a realtor, and he approached that. And of course, you know, I gave him the answer that I just shared with you. So yeah, that's something. Yeah, that
I've answered that question many, many, many times. And, you know, while I've always said, of course, the salesperson and your builder, they want to help you. They want to build you a fantastic home. But at the end of the day, Kat's great, but who does she work for at the end of the day? She works for the builder. So you need somebody advocating for you.
Exactly.
And I think, and I've always told people, reputable builders want you to have representation. And sometimes it makes their job easier.
Yes.
And, you and I, or the salesperson and I, are partners. Yes, I am representing my clients, but at the end of the day, we all have the same goal in common. And that is to get this home closed and to have happy buyers.
Yep.
So, and I talk a lot about that when I am building relationships with salespeople, that I'm there as a partner to them. Right.
Exactly.
And I've heard horror stories. I'm sure you have too. These realtors who
try to unravel a deal.
Absolutely.
I have sat there at the contract thinking, do you want them to get this house?
Yeah.
And and really to their defense, whoever they are, sometimes it's just it's the realtor thinking they need to earn their commission, so
showing their value.
Yeah, they're trying to show their value, and they're not really realizing the big picture. Honestly, if there's something that the sales manager or sales counselor missed, obviously you need to advocate for your buyer. But sometimes, like you said, they're just trying to flex their muscle, go, I'm important and I'm valuable, and they don't realize they're trying to unravel the deal. So if you are a realtor, just be cognizant of that. But there's business out there, as Shelley can attest to, focusing in on new home sales. And I will tell you, the sales manager or sales counselor does all the work. So if you're a realtor, this is you can hand it off. They do the contract, you don't. They handle all the moving parts and pieces. You just really, if you want to show up to a walkthrough, or you want to show, it's really low hanging fruit if you do it right. As obviously Shelley has, when you can go off and work on those more complex, resale homes that require more of your work and time, and possibly a lot more complications and bells and whistles to go through. New homes is where it's at. So what percentage would you say, Shelley, new homes to resale that you do?
Oh gosh. I would say, probably 75% is new homes. But I have to say too, I really enjoy the resale side as well. I enjoy, securing that home for buyers and walking them through the process. And, my favorite clients are, first-time home buyers.
Yes.
And the elderly, because they need so much hand-holding. And
they
I think
do.
Just by nature, I was a teacher, and I love walking them through the process. Now, I love working with savvy buyers and sellers also. But,
sure.
There's something to be said about every facet of this business transaction.
There really is. I tell, I teach CE classes on my industry, staging, color, and design. And, real estate is not for the faint of heart. When I was originally in new home sales, and it was a low price point, and it was when the market was, hey, you got a pulse, we'll sell you a house. So I'd have one in the design room, one filling out an app, one in my office. It was crazy. And I loved first-time home buyers. I would tell them, think of me, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. Think of me as your puzzle master. I'm going to help you put all the pieces together, because it can be daunting, not only for first-time home buyers, but the typical person doesn't buy but every, I don't know what the stats are, 5 to 7 years, Shelley?
Yeah, I believe so.
So
yes.
That's a long time. You're not up to date on the latest, and certainly you don't remember, all the parts and pieces. So, I guess I'm somewhat of an educator as well. I like to share. I've never formally, I guess I have taught. I'm a CE instructor, but in a school environment. And so it is a gift to be able to share that and be detail oriented and help them through the process, because it can be very scary.
Absolutely.
For folks. And not only, I have a feeling you must also, I had when I was working in the community, I had a client who was building their homes. This was in East Shore, and she's watching me with a client come in because she's like, just like across the street from our trailer. We were in a trailer. We were selling so fast. And she says, Kat, she says, man, not only do you help them pick their selections and then you do the contract and you do that, she goes, but you're kind of like a psychologist too.
Oh, no doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
So talk to us about that, because, I really, sometimes you do stuff and you don't really realize, well, yeah, I guess I am. I guess that is a part of the dynamic. What do you have to say about that? The whole psychology part of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just depends. I mean, there's so many personalities out there.
Yes.
And I think those people that are really laid back by just, just nature, right? Just naturally, they're laid back people. They go through the process really unscathed. Nothing really bothers them. However, there are quite a few emotional people out there.
The majority.
Yes, and we have to think about this is basically people's largest investment.
Yes.
And so it can get pretty emotional. And I think for me, the key is really remaining calm and walking them through the process. And, things happen. And that's what I tell them. I kind of prep them from the beginning that, our goal is to have a very smooth transaction. And sometimes it goes very, very well. And other times we're going to hit some bumps in the road. But regardless, we're going to work them out and we'll, get them resolved. And
so I like that you're setting the expectation, because there is no perfect transaction. It's like we said, there's no perfect house, because we used to say there's no perfect tree. I think all trees are perfect, but when you put it into wood for the house, it's not. So I'm, to be at your level of success, yes, you have to deal with a lot of different personalities. And I think an excellent realtor takes those things that can be very emotional and, like you said, stays calm. Says, this is not a big deal. We'll get over it. Here's our options, and you come up with a solution. We're solution providers, in the eye of the storm, keeping everything calm.
That's right. And I will tell you, Kat, I didn't start out this way necessarily. I've grown a tremendous amount. And, I've had some great mentors.
Yes.
By working on the Franklin team.
Sure.
And I've learned a lot, and I have still so far to go. Every day is a new day. I learn something new.
But isn't that what's exciting? And I think that is part of what I'm sure makes you so good, Shelley, is when I hear someone who says, oh yeah, I pretty much know everything, well, yeah, you don't know what you don't know. And I think really the folks that strive for and meet excellence are ones that go, I'm constantly learning. And that's what's exciting about real estate, is that every home is different, every person is different, every transaction is different and has different nuances. I've talked about in the past, and it was kind of a light bulb for me when I was in new home sales, is that, this is a really, not only is it more than likely the most expensive investment folks are going to make in their life, but then couple it with the stress of the finances. Am I going to qualify? Can I get the money liquidated out of my 401k? Can I take work off, in time? Can I arrange the movers? And then behind that, the emotions can be as broad, they're really bipolar. It's, I got married, I got divorced.
Right.
I had a child, I lost a child. I got a promotion, I got a demotion. I had a birth, I had a death. It's very
extreme.
Yes, extreme levels of emotions that we have to help our clients navigate through.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you can see that right away, that okay, this is going to be a little bit more challenging, these clients. Other times you're completely caught off guard. You're like, wait, what just happened? Everything was going so well, and then out of left field comes something crazy. So those are
the ones that are scary. And whether it's real estate clients, whatever business clients, the ones you think, oh, they're so sweet, and then all of a sudden,
yeah, I will tell you that the most difficult transactions are where you learn the most. And I think anybody would agree with that. And that's the silver lining. And I always try to find the silver lining. I want to to, figure out, okay, well, it just adds to the experience. While you're going through a difficult transaction, it's terrible. It's not fun. However, when you come out on the other side, which you will, it's all going to be okay. And then you can kind of reflect and what did I learn from that? And that just builds knowledge, it builds wisdom and experience.
Absolutely.
And you're a better real estate agent because of that difficult transaction.
Absolutely. And again, I think, the threads of successful individuals is saying, okay, it's either great. If it's not great, it's an experience. It's a learning experience. And you take that and you build on that. And now you've got so much more in your toolbox, to take with you. You don't become a victim or negative. We have enough negativity in the world today. And so, I think to survive and to thrive, you really need to have that attitude, of gratitude no matter what is coming your way. And then, like you said, reflect on that. And that's where you become strong. I absolutely agree with you on that. So what else would you like to share? Again, I love your servant's heart, your positive attitude. I knew when we chatted, we were, on the same kind of wavelength here, which is what excites me about having you on the show. What else would you like to share with us in terms of your success and your keys to success?
Well, I think it really goes back to just having that positive attitude, like you said, and doing things for the right reasons. I always tell myself, and I'm a big believer in affirmations, daily affirmations, and just putting it out to the universe that, these things are coming. And believing, I know some agents I've heard, people are getting concerned. Home sales, salespeople are getting concerned. I'm not. Right? I mean, this is just it's all going to be fine. Waking up every day with a positive attitude and really kind of embracing, what am I going to get to do today to serve others? And just keeping that positive attitude overall, I think is such a big piece. It's a vital piece to being a successful agent.
I love that, Shelley. I love that. That's huge, and that does not surprise me whatsoever. There's one of my favorite sayings from, I can't remember his name right now, but that is, I have a rock that says it, thoughts become things. And that's all really part of the magic and power of manifestation, as you said, not see it and I'll believe it, but believe it and you'll see it. So in the face of adversity, believe, have those affirmations. I have all the business I want. I have all the business I need. I am attracting my tribe, the people who know me, like me, and value my services, no matter what your services are.
Yes. And I think that's another, you just kind of made me think of this too, Kat. I think aligning yourself with successful people, right? You are the sum total of the 5 people you hang out with, right? And I think that is so true in this industry. You want to be around agents that are producers that can teach you something. And I'm always looking for that. And I'm also very happy to share my knowledge and what I've learned thus far with new agents. In fact, that's one of my favorite things to do, talk with newer agents and share things. I'm very open when it comes to that. And again, I think if you're giving, it's all going to come back to you tenfold and providing value to others.
It does. Absolutely. I think sometimes people, there's 2 things. You can come from fear or you can come from love. And I don't care what it is, your life, others, your thoughts, everything. And, when people are afraid to share, that's just coming from fear. But the bottom line is nobody is you out there.
And there's an abundance of business, right?
There is. There's business for everyone.
Absolutely.
I have colleagues. We might be in the same vicinity and be, I call friendly competitors. Right. That's fine.
Co-opetition, right?
Yeah, it's all, everybody's a fit for somebody. You don't need it all. You can share it and someone will take it and put their spin on it, their Shelley spin on it, their Cat spin on it, their Tom spin on it, and someone will resonate with that magic and they will become their soul tribe. And, I just heard this term coined, I used to be married to the hustle, and in my life right now, I'm not married to the hustle. Does that mean I don't want business? No, I do want business, but I want the right business, people who know me, like me, trust me, value me. And that's the business I want. I want my soul tribe.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. And I think you and I have a whole lot in common, Kat.
I think we do too. And I think we need to talk when we go end here. We need to chat, girlfriend. And I don't have my phone. So Jeff, what time is it?
It looks like it's 25. We're 10:25.
10:25. Okay, so we got 5 minutes, and then I'll do my sign off. And by the way, in fact, we're going to take a minute here. This show will be broadcast on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/C/Tada by Kat. Jeff will post it here. We would love for you to subscribe. We are in the 800 range, and our goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers, and we would love for you to be on there. There's over 45 episodes with a myriad of topics that are posted on our YouTube channel. And so Shelley's episode here, episode number 46, will be posted in the next 48 hours on our YouTube channel. If you or someone you know can benefit from this episode, please share it. Please comment. We love your interaction. It helps our algorithms. I'm just a firm believer if one person took away something, some nugget that helped change their life or someone they know, then Shelley and I, our time here was well spent. And I know I can sense Shelley feels the same way. But if you know someone who would like to share their juju, as I call it, please give me a call, reach out to me. We're looking for guests. It's really funny, Shelley, because I used to be real nervous. I had to have them booked, a couple ahead, and, it was very regimented. And now I'm just, I just put it out to the universe, and I know that as you did, because I reached out to you some time ago and just heard back from you, and then you jumped on and we made it happen. And it seems like the magic happens. Not that I like to work on the fly all the time, but I kind of enjoy it because I'm kind of good at it. But we would love to get it booked up, 2-3 weeks ahead of time. Now, we've been at the beach and then had a house guest, so we've done replays. So I'm excited that it's a replay. We've got a new guest, some great information Shelley has shared. But yes, if you know anyone, please, or you, have a business, have a message even. It doesn't have to be about real estate. It's all things home. And to me, that's such a broad subject because we all live in a home, whether it's an apartment, a studio, those little tiny houses. My daughter's really interested in those. Wherever you live, there's what all goes in a home, into a home. Everything. Right. In fact, we just adopted 2 Aussie Doodles, brother and sister, to join our 2 girls, our Yorkshire Terrier and what I call my designer mutt. So we have 4 canines in the house now. I'd love to get someone on about pets. Who's an expert on, dogs. We'll start with dogs. I would love that. That'd be amazing.
Well, we have a zoo at our house too. So we actually have 3 dogs.
You do? What kind?
We have 2 rescues, and we have that are, I like your term, designer mutts.
Yeah.
And then we have a little Maltese that runs the house.
Oh, I'll send you a picture because Zena is she's a multi-poo, so she's Pomeranian, Maltese, poodle. Yeah, that's why I said she's a designer mix. She's so cute, but she takes her over the Maltese. She looks like a mini sheepdog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, our Maltese, his name is Tito. In fact, he's trying to come into my office right now.
Oh.
He does not like being away from me. He's my little partner.
Can you put him on camera?
Oh gosh, come here, Tito. Let me grab him. There he is. He's big and fluffy.
Oh,
yeah,
he's cute. He looks like Zena's dad, which had poodle and Maltese. I think that was the Maltese.
Okay.
Yeah, they're so cute. Yeah, we love our dogs. I mean, we were very happy. I got a text from a girlfriend that used to work with me in a building and said, "Oh my gosh, there's these 2 dogs. And they're being displaced because of a new girlfriend, doesn't like them, And, they're 50 pounds.
Right.
And so for someone to take 1 50-pounder, let alone 2, we're blessed enough. We work from home. We have a 1/4 of an acre yard. And so we were able to, my husband didn't, he's like, let's take them. I'm like, okay.
Love it.
Okay. So what kind are your other two, just mixed, like you said?
Yeah, one, I think he's probably a black mouth cur Rottweiler mix, and the other one's more like cattle dog.
So bigger?
Yes, 85 pounds and probably 70.
Did you hear that, honey? 85 pounds. So our babies are, just tiny. They could get up to 70 is what they're saying, but they are so smart. Mm-hmm. So smart.
They are. Aussies are known to be very smart dogs.
And poodles too. So the combination of two of the smartest dogs out there, right? Yeah, they're very smart, and thank the Lord they're potty trained, because our little Yorkshire Terrier still likes to do little gifts.
Oh yes, it's harder to train the little dogs.
It is, I think so, right? I know their bladders are smaller and stuff like that. We talk about anything here. So don't be afraid to be my guest. We'll chat about anything. We'll talk about dog poop, training, if you like. Pooping and peeing. Thank you so much, Shelley. What a joy. I'm going to end broadcast, but stay on for a minute so we can chat after the fact.
Hey, thank you for having me, Kat. And, I like to say I'm an open book. If anybody needs help out there that, wants to.
Yes. So you don't have to wait for 2 days. If someone wants to reach you right away to, pick your brain or have you help them find a new home or resale home, what's the best way to reach you?
You can reach me by phone, 832-419-6039, or you can email me at Shelley, SHELLEY.
Don't forget the EY.
That's right. .Cooley, COOLEY at thefranklinteaminc.com.
Awesome. And that'll all be posted. Jeff will probably post it on this string as well. If you have questions, and more than likely you're watching this after the fact, post the questions. We go back and, revisit them, and we'll certainly answer your questions. And then, of course, on YouTube as well. So thank you so much, Shelley. And I just want to implore you folks, as always, and you know what? For just today, stay positive, stay hopeful, and stay connected. And we thank you so much for connecting with us today, and we will see you next time. Until then, have a great super weekend. Bye.
Bye.